welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host, Frank Pacino, and my best friend and man, Brian. And today we're talking about our thoughts on this past week, week 3 of Big Brother 23. What did you think of this week?
This is Xavier's HOH.
Yeah,
I think it went pretty good. I think it was a pretty easy go for him. I think this is the first time in a long time that we haven't seen we've seen someone evicted because they were not liked versus just not connected or that's what the whole house wanted. This is eviction 3, so week 3 is a long time to get over the fact that you're in the house and you're just starting to act like yourself now. And by doing that, I feel like people got to actually know the real Brent, and they just weren't about it.
yeah. It was he was definitely making the groundwork and like early on. It's just
Yeah.
Frenchie was just a mess, so that Frenchie had to go first, and Brent was the clear cut case. I did say that if I was Xavier, I wouldn't necessarily have put it up Brent. I still don't think it was like the best move for him, but I don't think it was a
No,
bad move because it was an easy nom for him.
I
Easy
don't think
week.
Brent would have ever gone after Xavier. At least not
Yeah.
right away at all. He was wanting to get the women out, and which kind of surprises me because there really isn't, other than Azza and like Hannah on the side. Those are the only women, or I guess Tiffany too is in the cookout as well. But like him and Kylan are good, and him with those women are good. So I don't see. I don't know. I think that it was probably good for the house to put Brent up, but not good for Xavier personally.
Yeah, I don't think it hurt Xavier. I don't think I it doesn't made him a bigger target at all. It didn't
Yeah,
put a target on his back. It was a nice, easy nomination, just like Kylan's HOH week with the easy nomination in Frenchie.
yeah,
Xavier had a nice and easy one. And this early on, if you're not willing to make a move, this is the best bet is to have an easy target. But I
yeah.
think the easy targets are moving forward is going to be out, but we'll see.
Well, there's still Brittany left.
We'll see. Yeah. But
She's been tossed by as an easy
yeah,
target.
yeah. So let's just start from the beginning of the week where we see Xavier win, see them celebrate and be all happy go lucky. It was fun to see him interact with the Kings and celebrate a
Yeah,
little bit. And he developed a really good strategy on what he wanted to do.
yeah, he
And
did.
he articulated it very well to the houses and what he wanted to do. Now, uh, it was easier said
He
than
had
done.
some, yeah, he had some people that were not as about it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Just not as about it, not for it. Especially Azza. Azza did not want to put Brittany up on the block. Now, I don't know if it's because Azza thinks that, I don't know if it's because she really cares about Brittany or because she doesn't want to hear Brittany cry again.
I
Like,
think it.
which one do you think is it?
I think she does care about her, and she also does not want to hear her cry again.
Yeah.
I think it's a little both, but she does care about her. The wild card competition. So I seen in the feeds, Brittany was complaining that was unfair. That was not fair. There was not much she could do being tag team on. But in all reality, she probably could have won this comp if she takes out Derek X when she could have. She had a 4 and
Yeah.
he had 12. There was a 3 sitting right in front of her. And she says 12
She's
like 4 times.
screaming at
12,
herself.
12, 12, 12. I'm going to play it safe.
She's so goofy. All she had to do is like, and like here's what kills me is all these numbers are under five and
hmm
under.
Yeah.
You can't add 5 and under numbers
Yeah.
in a sequence. Like, how did you even pass to get on Big
The,
Brother at
the,
that
the thing
point?
is, she
You
added it
know?
all. She just didn't add her
Yes.
number. All she had to do is take out 3 and put a 4. And Derek X is eliminated. Then
Yeah.
it's her against Tiffany. And Tiffany was not moving as fast as Brittany was across that
No,
beam.
she wasn't. Brittany had every capability to win that competition.
Exactly. And she takes out
Yep.
Derek X there. There's a decent chance that she wins that competition. And she's for sure taking safety. And
Yeah.
like there's a chance Brent might have been safe. It would have
I
been a
know.
crazy week if
The
Brittany would
butterfly
have
effect,
won.
man, in these games
Oh
is so crazy because it
yeah.
really does, it really does matter.
Yeah. So Tiffany and Derek X do team together to take out Brittany because
Mhm.
the objective this week is to have Brittany as a nom because that's what Xavier wants. And Derek X volunteered to do the competition so he could throw this competition to Tiffany.
Yes.
And that was the game plan going into it. They executed very well. Oh, we even forgot to mention that Derek X and Hannah
Hannah through the
purposely
comp.
through the HOH competition at the same time, dancing, all like celebrating, uh, so that way Brent could go home. Like they had this whole
Do you think it was a
plan.
good move on their part to do that because he was a part of their team? Again, it's like we've seen Frenchie be let go by his team. Now we're seeing Brent being let go by his team. Do you think it's a good strategy for them like to cut off, the dead weight, or do you think it hurts them by having a number lost?
So I don't. So personally, they don't like him. He's a creep. I get that
Yeah,
100%. But game wise, it was not the best move because Brent is always going to be a target. You win HOH. Brent is safe. You have numbers. Brent's not turning on you. He's not very
no,
smart. You can get rid of him at any time. But I completely understand why they don't go that route because
yes.
if people are feeling uncomfortable with him and making people like not want to be around him, I understand taking the bullet. But game wise, I'll stand with it's not the best move to just let go of a teammate like that because it lets go one of your numbers and potentially lose another number because they don't know how long this team competition is going to go for. They
I'm
suspect
kind of
four,
hoping
but
it ends soon. Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
suspect
ends.
four too.
No,
I suspect four too.
she's announced that the last wild card competition is next week. So I'm
Okay.
assuming it's probably end after this week.
Do you think they'll continue teams and change them, or do you think
No.
that no? I don't think they will either. It's time for an individual game anyway. It kind of has been an individual game. I mean, yeah, the team thing helps, like for throwing comps and things like that. But I'm ready for an individual game.
So
It's
this is
time.
everybody's playing an individual game. The team just adds another dynamic to the strategy throughout the week, and we get to see how they map out and
Yeah,
figure out what they need to do. And it's kind of fun because it's a new dynamic for them to solve, and they have majority of the information, so it's easy for them to solve it. If they didn't have, I don't. The only time I don't like stuff like this if the players don't have the information, like
yes.
because then it
And they
makes
when
for
the
bad gameplay, bad decisions,
and
and
it looks like production has their hand way too far in that jar.
exactly,
Yep,
exactly. We've seen it
I agree with
countless of
you on that.
time,
Yep.
and it just ruins part of the game sometimes. So, but this way they have most of
Yeah.
the information, so it's been pretty good.
Hmm.
We also get to see the budding romance with Alyssa and Christian, and Hannah and Derek X. Well, their romance is a little less than Christian and Alyssa.
Dude, Christian and Alyssa are like, yeah, they're like super about it. Got caught kissing underneath the blanket by the HOH, should I add?
In his
By the
bed.
HOH in his bed, yes, in his bed. Like,
He's like, come on,
what are you
bro.
doing? I know. What are you doing? It's so disrespectful.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, get under the covers. I need to tell you something. Your eyes like reflect. I forgot what he said exactly.
Why?
It was so bad.
So
Uh,
gross.
One of the highlights of the week, though, was watching Xavier go to Brent and tried to convince him that, hey, I need you to be a pawn so you could play in the veto comp for me this week. He goes, hey, will you play in the veto with me? He's like, oh, like if you draw house guest choice? He's like, no, like you're gonna be a pawn. He's like, I
Oh
am
my
not
god.
pawn material.
You're right. You're not palm material. You're going home material, bro. Like, there's so many times in these three episodes where Brent was just getting hint after hint after hint that he was going, and he just was not. He was just not picking up what they were laying
Oh,
down
and
at all, at all.
production ate it up this week.
Oh, they did. They
Oh,
did. They
they
were
ate it
trashing this
up.
dude.
There's so many sound bites. Like he's gonna be embarrassed when he goes back and watches what they clipped together
I
because
know.
you know
They dogged that dude.
they did really bad. Like
They did.
he goes, he goes, look at me. I do not look. Nothing about me looks like a pawn. Nothing screams
God.
pawn. He's like, he's like,
My body doesn't. What did you say? My body doesn't match my.
match pawn. He
No,
goes,
he was saying like something about his body. He was saying like the exterior doesn't match the interior or something like
yeah,
that. As in like
because
just because I
Tommy's
look
so
good.
intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes, Xavier, if you do this, our relationship will be strained by this, and my teammates will be very upset with you as well.
Yes.
Even though his team threw the
Do
competition,
not
so
care.
that way he could
No.
go up. And so we do get Brittany and Brent. Ozza finds out right
Yeah.
before nominations and she talks to Xavier, and she's like, I don't want Brittany to go up. And I completely get what Oz's saying, because like her team, like she needs Brittany to focus and stay focused in the game,
Yes.
because
She's
Brittany is
100% emotional player.
yes, Brittany is
120% emotional player and not a strategical player whatsoever. It's going to be hard to align with her.
and Brittany is her parachute alliance,
Mm-hmm.
and she needs her to focus, and that's what she's trying to say. Hey, you're targeting my parachute alliance
Yes.
after she was just put on the block by Kylan, and I get what she's saying, and she's like, I gotta deal with it. I gotta keep her calm. Da da da. And she's like,
It's
put
my
me on the block.
responsibility.
Yeah. So do you think it was a bad move for, or what would you, if you were Xavier, would you put Aza up after she said put me on the block?
No, I wouldn't have, because that's what she wanted. And I feel like when you go to somebody saying, I want to be on the block, put me on the block, they always have a plan on how they're not going to go home, or else they wouldn't want to be on the block. So she felt safe enough. I think it was foolishness for her to feel safe enough at week 3 to go on the block. You don't develop that trust with somebody that early in the game, very rarely, to just be able to go up on the block and 100% know that that I feel like Brittany on the block is perfect because she's not a threat. She's not a threat to Brent. So Brent is a bigger threat in that situation where he's going to get an automatic, as we've seen later on, spoiler alert, 11-0 vote. Where if you put Azza up there, it gives him a little bit more time that week to say, hey, she actually is a threat. Everybody likes her. She's, halfway decent at competition, whatever reason they have. I think that with Azza up there, it would have been more of a competition for Brent, and it would have been more of a opportunity for people to sway or go against what the original plan was. So I think that putting Brittany up there was perfect, because that nobody was gonna vote Brittany off because she's not a threat.
And to be fair, I know we didn't see this in the show, but on the feed, I think it was like 20 or 30 minutes before he put up nominations. And he already
Yeah.
told everybody what his plan was, but her. So if he would just changed his mind and put Ozzy up, he's blindsiding his other alliance, the whole house, when he pretty
Oh
much
wow.
stole. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just not a good idea for him to do
No.
it for sure. But I understand. I mean, it's easy for HOH, but all right, she asked, I put her up. But I wonder if Tiffany would have got enough irritated with her to maybe make a move against
I'm not
her,
sure. Yeah, I don't know.
because so this
Tiffany, Tiffany, I don't think Tiffany is a very reactive player. I don't think she's
really.
going to go against. I mean, I don't. She's smart enough to know when to make her moves. She's not going to make her moves off emotion, I guess is what I'm trying to
But
say.
yeah, but okay. Later on, we see Azza and Tiffany have a conversation, and she flat out says, "I play emotionally." So what's holding her back from going to jury eventually and voting against Tiffany, because she didn't like the way she played, and that's the one vote she needs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Azza's unpredictable with her emotions. She flat out said, "I'm gonna play emotionally."
Oh,
So
I
what
was
if?
talking about Tiffany. I was talking
Oh,
about Tiffany is
well,
not
oh,
a
this is
reactive.
Tiffany. This is Tiffany's thought process
Oh,
about
okay,
Azza.
okay, okay, okay.
Like, what if Tiffany votes out Azza, and she's upset by it, and she's hurt by it, and she loses by one vote, and that one vote is Azza,
It's
because
Azza.
she's heartbroken or hurt or irritated with the way Tiffany played the
That's why
game.
you pre-jury her. That's what
So
I'm
that's
saying.
why
That's
that's
why
why
it could have been an option for Brent to stay 100%.
that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany would have been tempted a little bit to make a move there,
She
but
definitely would
I
have
think
been.
I think she would have, if she would have did that, she would have definitely been an all in Claire if she did. But yeah, and pretty much Brittany gets nominated, she cries. It's like, girl, chill.
The waterworks for 2 weeks. Could you imagine handling someone crying like that for 2 weeks? I could not. I'd be like,
And
girl, you got to stop. Like, we are stuck in this house with you. You have to listen to this. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, it's the truth.
and her first time being nominated, it was Frenchie. Everybody was gunning for him, and the
And
second week
Brent,
was Brent. Everyone
yes,
was gunning
everyone's
for
gunning for
him,
him.
and they
She's
all,
got to learn how to be on the block.
the whole house is like, girl, you are a pawn,
A
chill.
pawn, calm down.
Right. And Xavier only had three options because he was aligned with like the whole house. It
Yeah.
was Brent, Whitney, and Brittany. And he's cuddling with Whitney. So why would you put your cuddle partner up? You're
I,
gonna put Brittany up.
yeah,
So
stupid.
he had to do what he had to do. we get to the veto episode, and it was all right episode. Like we seen Christian and Alyssa more. I think this is when they
Yeah.
get caught. Uh, Brent is so confident going. He's like, dude, I got the numbers. Xavier is so dumb. He doesn't even know what's coming. Like, I have the numbers. I'm gonna stay.
I don't
I can't
understand
believe
why. And
he.
like Julie was trying to ask him, like spoiler alert later, like Julie was trying to ask him, like, why do you feel so confident? And like even like him telling all these other people, like, why does he feel so damn confident? And that's what was his downfall. Was obviously we know this is that he was way too confident and didn't fight for himself to stay. But I just don't understand why he was saying like, oh, X's know what's coming. Like, why did he feel like he was staying?
Oh, I don't know. His conversation with Alyssa was so cringy. He's like, "Don't worry,
Oh
I
my
don't want to just
god,
align with you because I want to date you." She's
dude, that was
like,
so
"Excuse me?"
creepy,
Like it
so
was crazy.
creepy.
Yeah, so weird and awkward. And she's like, "Dude, back away from me. Get away
Also,
from me."
too, I just want to say, like, you were stuck in a house with 16 people all day, every day. This is the third week we're here. You know that Alyssa and Christian are a thing. You
All
have
right.
to. You're stuck in a house with them. You have nothing other than observe people and watch people. So you have not picked up that Christian and Alyssa are a showman. Everybody else in the house knows it. Why don't you know it? Is because you were literally that daft where you just do not
Yeah.
see it. I don't know how he passed the casting process.
He
I
literally
don't.
sits down with his teammates and in the room and saying, "I don't know why he's doing it. We got the numbers."
Yeah.
And their guy's like, "Yeah, bro. I don't get it either. It's so dumb." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Xavier's stupid. We're gonna get him,
I
and we're gonna."
know.
It's like he's like, "It's gonna be like the biggest blindside in Big Brother history." And then he walks out the room, and Derek X looks at the camera.
I know Derek X is like awkward. Like, what am I doing? Oh,
Oh,
dude,
his
I'm so glad that Derek X is not a target anymore.
yo,
He really put himself in a good spot now where he's got, like, I hate saying it like this,
he's
but he's
starting to
got
shine
friends and like
more and more.
he is. And he won 2 vetoes and people are still saying shit about it,
No, no.
not
Uh,
talking about it,
The way
nothing.
he's talking, his mind is racing, and it's awesome to see because we were both high on him preseason,
Yeah,
and it was looking bad that first week. He was
it
not
was.
didn't know what the hell to do. He looked confused. Frenchie outplayed him at one point. So like it's a turnaround, like
It
really,
is.
really
He's
great.
learning.
He's learning
He's
really
learning.
fast,
He is.
and I think he's the only one that's super keen on Tiffany right now too.
Yeah. Tiffany's got herself in a little bit harder position.
Yeah,
She's not. She's fine. She's on the outs of a lot of alliances.
I don't think she's on the house, but I think people have eyes on her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's so we get to the veto comp, and
Which is won by.
Whitney gets drawn, and she's like, perfect. He's like, perfect. She's gonna win for me. She's gonna play hard to save me. I'm not, and he's like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even need to win the veto. I got the numbers. I don't know how many times he said that in his like those 2 episodes before he got evicted, but it was a lot. I got
It
the
was a lot.
numbers. I
He
feel like
doesn't.
I feel like the producers kept asking me, like, wait, you have the numbers? And they're like, yeah, 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 I got the numbers. I'm like, are you sure you have the number? No, yeah, I got the
Oh, I got
numbers.
the numbers. And like literally this fake ass alliance, like the fakest fucking like what do they, I can't even remember what they call themselves. It's so fake. The
The
mafia.
mafia,
That's what it was.
yeah.
The mafia. Fake ass shit.
Derek F gets drawn to, and he's like, I'm gonna try to play to win for Brittany. Xavier gets house guest choice, and he picks Christian.
Yep.
It's the roller ballerina. I actually, all right. So
Ballerina.
we kind of ran past the wild card competition. I really enjoyed that competition actually.
Yeah.
I
That was
think
a
it was
good
fun.
competition.
It
Their
was
comps
fun
this season have been good.
so far. Yeah, for the
They
most
you
part.
can tell there's money in them. You can tell they put a little bit more money into the comps this
I just
season.
think you feel that way because we've been watching Big Brother 2.
Uh don't remind me. I'm so glad I'm
So,
done with it.
so we get to the veto competitions about roller ballerina. So Brittany gets the first choice, and she picks Brett. If you were Brittany, would you pick Brett?
No.
I would pick Whitney. I'm here to win for myself. I'm not here to play for anybody else.
Exactly. And like you're on the block. You have to make the
Right.
best decision for
For
yourself. And
yourself.
literally the only this is what people kill when they're on the block, okay? Because like I see this in org sometimes and I see this like in the game and stuff, like you were on the block. You need to use that as an excuse why you make decisions. Well, I had to make this decision because I'm on the block. So I have a 50-50 chance to go home while everybody else is 100% safe. I have to do something.
Right.
I can't just lay here and do nothing.
Right.
I think people don't use that as much as it's just a simple reason.
Yeah, because if Brittany somehow beats Whitney, and then Xavier, I believe Xavier was second anyways. He's picking Brent.
Yeah.
He's not picking Brittany. And then I think Derek F is next. And so he's gonna pick Christian or probably Xavier.
Maybe Whitney.
No, Whitney's gone in that situation.
Oh yeah, that's right. Whitney's gone in that situation.
Yeah, so like there's a good chance that Brittany is gonna get off there's a better chance for her to get off the block. Now, if she's playing for the plan, she did the right thing for the plan. But if I'm on that block, I'm doing what's right for me.
Right.
So, but yeah, Christian wins. It's fun. Brent is awful. He's like falling everywhere. They put a lot of noises for him falling everywhere.
Dude, he was going as hard as he could though. I'll give it to him. Like clap for Brent for literally going to the point where he was vomiting and was still, like in a good mood about it. Like props to him.
Because he's in a good mood because he has the numbers.
I know, Frank. But still, like he was like throwing up on national television. Nobody likes doing that. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody.
So Christian wins. My favorite part of this week of episodes, he goes to Kylan, and Derek X is like, bro, we have to convince Christian not to use the veto because if he takes down Brittany, Derek X is probably gonna go up. So we have to you guys gotta get your queens, and Derek X, you need to go up there with them and talk to them about not using the veto. He's like, then we can.
Oh my God, you got this, bro. That's so genius.
So let's get the Royal Flush Alliance together and talk about not using the veto. Okay, that was Kylan pretty much. And so they're all sitting there, and Kylan's like, guys, get this. I'm doing this for Brent.
And they're all like freaking laughing it up. Dude, I guarantee, because they'd never do, but I guarantee they didn't have the live feeds on for that. Can you imagine watching down the live feeds? Oh, that would have been so good.
So my favorite confessional is right after, one of them. There's a lot of them by Brent, but Xavier was like, he's like, you know what, Brent, you're right. I changed my mind. I'm definitely saving you. Psych, boy, you going home. Oh man, I love Xavier. He's so funny.
Oh man, Xavier's DRs are literally the most authentic. They're so good. They're so authentic. Oh, like boy, you going home, dude? Derek, back to Derek F. Like, I think the word he used the most in this whole week was lawyer. I think the DR tipped him off. I do. I think the DR tipped him off that he thinks that Xavier is a lawyer.
Yeah, that became a thing on the last week. Yeah, he's like, you definitely scream lawyer to me, and Xavier's like, boy, like what? We're in the cookout. Why you put me on the grill?
Had to have said something. Literally, the DR had to have said something.
Yeah, Sarah Beth was like, look, if you're modeling and a lawyer, that's not even fair.
Listen to me right now, dude. It was so funny to watch. I know we're skipping ahead a little bit, but Derek F sitting there like telling Sarah Beth, like, I don't think Xavier really is. I believe everybody else's professions except for X's. And Sarah Beth just sitting there like, oh yeah, you don't say, huh? Like Sarah Beth lied about her profession this whole time. Oh, so good. Yeah. That shit was so good. Out of everyone sitting next to her and him say that, it was perfect.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we get to the veto ceremony. Christian doesn't use the veto, of course, because that's what Brent wants.
Yeah.
And I love this quote. He's like, the X thinks he's the puppeteer. He's just a puppet. I'm the puppeteer.
Brent, your game perception
because
is so
because
bad.
He has the numbers.
Title episode.
Oh man, and because he thinks he made a alliance.
We're clowning this guy harder than CBS's, man. Yeah. Oh god.
Dude,
he got blindsided just like you said, Frank. Just like you wanted. Yes.
I so wish I got to see like a oh no. Like I so wish he didn't have like shoes on or something.
I know.
or he would have walked out. You never see if you see 19 walked
Yes.
out like Cody. Oh,
Oh,
that would
over
have been
the
so
table,
good.
iconic, dude,
Oh, that was so
iconic.
good.
I swear to God, I think that's how freaking Chuck would play. I'm not
Oh.
playing. I think Chuck would be just like fucking Cody in that house. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Can you see it? Yes.
I
Swear.
might say some crazy shit like I hate you all and just walk
Oh
out
God.
and see what they say.
Cody running over that, literally walked over that table and looked at anybody and just walked right out of that house. He was done. That shit was so good. That's got one of the most iconic walkouts
Oh,
I remember.
I so wish we could have got that with him. It would have made my whole day.
Oh God, it'd been so
The blind
good.
side leading up to the blind side was like it was like smelling the dinner and the dinner
Yes,
and then actually eating the dinner was a little underwhelming.
I
So
understand what you mean.
yeah, but
I
uh,
understand what you mean.
yeah, we get to the last episode of the week and Brent's walking around. He's like, I got this, but he's like doing all weird and creepy. Like it's like,
Yeah, he keeps freaking the girls out. I know that he. I know that they talked about that on the episode, and people just don't trust him. He's shady. You know, he's just he's not campaigning for himself because he thinks that he's got the numbers, so he's not going against anybody. It's just boring. He was just a boring character. He was just not.
his
It's just so
conversation with Whitney
delusional.
was so funny. And when he was
God,
really trying to like let this
help him
man know,
out.
like it just like in life in general, like maybe you should like tone it down. Like
Which is a kind of a show of us how Whitney is. Whitney, we see this that Whitney doesn't mind going against people and maybe trying to save people, which could be a downfall in her game. As her pittiness in the sense of like, oh, I feel bad for these people. I'm going to kind of give them a little bit of push, nudge, hint that they're going to go home. That could be jury management, but I think it's mostly playing emotionally, and it might bite her.
yeah. So she tries to lure him, give him a hint, like, hey,
Yeah.
you're rubbing some people the wrong way. And he's like, I've been target since day one. If they feel that way, they feel that way. And then he goes, I'm only a target because my strategy is amazing. And she's like, is your strategy really amazing if you're being targeted this early? And he's like, yeah,
Oh.
it's because my strategy is so amazing. What do you not see about this?
And she literally said, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
she was being so blunt, honest, and still, whoosh, nothing.
And he goes, hey, can I borrow some lipstick so I can go kiss some butt? And he's like, I'm never kissing nobody's butt.
What, and dude, like, this was such a weird week to go into after Frenchie. Like, this season so far has been insane,
Yeah.
literally insane.
So that Brent, that's pretty much what Brent's week was, just making fun of himself. He didn't realize it, and production had a field day with it. But
Yeah.
we get there's a lot of game going around in the background because everybody knows Brent's going,
Yeah.
and so everybody wants one of the King members to go home. The King members want to target Whitney and Hannah. Sarah Bath convinced Christian and Alyssa we should do Hannah. Xavier Xavier really originally swayed them from doing the Jokers.
Yes.
So it protects Derek F. and Azza, but then he wanted them to go after Whitney. Well, Sarah Beth convinced them literally in like 30 seconds. I watched this on the feeds. She's like, it's like a minute or something. She's like, hey, do you we should definitely target Hannah instead of Whitney. And they're like, you think? Like, yeah, she's smart, all this stuff. And she's like, you're
They
right.
showed that on,
You're
yeah,
right.
they showed that on there. Yeah.
So Sarah Beth is, I love Sarah Beth. I think
Dude,
she's
I love
really
Sarah
good.
Beth too. She's the character and that cookie cutter mold that we've needed for many, many seasons. They tried to find somebody like Sarah Beth for a long time. I have a feeling. And finally she fits that niche that they've been looking for, and she's doing a great job.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job.
And honestly, getting out Hannah is great for Sarah Beth because
Yes,
it
it
takes
is.
somebody away from the cookout and it strengthens her position in the game.
Hannah's not going to work with Sarah Beth.
No. No.
Mm-mm.
And
No.
Hannah has no urgency in the game. Derek X has been trying like encourage her to play for HOH. And she's like, I don't need to win it. And he's like,
Do you know who Hannah reminds me a little bit of? Remember Natalie?
uh
Little fire boxer Natalie
the one
from
that
Big Brother 11. I think she was second in Big Brother 11. I think she went up against Jordan in the finals. That's who Hannah reminds me of. Little Natalie.
I think she's better than Natalie. Natalie was
Yeah.
terrible though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's like some people, everybody's afraid to take the shot.
Oh
I
wait,
just
was
want
it
somebody to
season
take the
11 or was
shot.
it season?
Yeah, season 11.
Yeah, it was season 11. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of people are afraid to take the shot. I want someone to take the shot. Um,
Yeah.
so the consensus is that they were going to try to let like a Whitney win and try to throw out and use and go after one of the kings, preferably the showmans. So that way they take the team number down and they weaken the team. So it's 3-3-3-3. And so that's the game plan going in HOH. I think everybody except for the Queens were trying to win. I think the Queens are in the best position.
Yeah, they are. They have a good thing going right now. But I mean, the Kings winning is not the ideal situation for everybody else because it keeps them strong. But if the team thing's going to be over next week, anything doesn't really matter. That's my thing with it is like, does it really matter? Because I don't think these people are going to stick with their team alliances after the teams are done.
I
I could be
think
wrong, but
I think Sarah Beth will be loyal to Alyssa and Christian to extent.
yeah,
Xavier is for sure. So this is my biggest issue with Xavier. He's full on locked in with the cookout, no matter what, and
yeah.
everybody else kind of has a little bit of side stuff going on, but him. And that's my
Yes,
concern with Xavier.
I think Xavier knows that he's likable. I think Kylan's his number one, correct? Isn't that who Xavier's number one is? Kylan.
Preferably, but Kylan has like 4 number 1s, and Xavier's not his
But I
number
think
one.
that Sarah Beth and Xavier are close as well.
Yeah, he's
Correct.
close. Yeah, he has a
Yes, he
final
has.
two with Tiffany.
Yes, and Tiffany. So he's got himself not as bad as you think he is.
Well, yeah, it's not that I don't like Kylan. It's just I'm not a big fan of criers. Like, so, I, so far we've seen a lot of people cry,
Yeah, we have.
and
We've seen a lot of crying this season
I
already. Quite a bit.
I'm
Every
over
single
it.
HOH has cried so far. Every single one has cried so far.
I the only crier I enjoyed was Vanessa because she was so cutthroat.
Oh my God. I haven't seen that season
I want to
yet.
see some I want to see some cutthroatness
Yes, we
going
have
on
been. I
further.
feel like. I
Ah,
mean, these past three votes, I guess, have been pretty easy. But I think that even before this game started, we predicted that these people were going to go fast.
mhm.
Maybe not Frenchie, but as soon as we saw Frenchie was playing, then yes, we agreed that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Frenchie was what, third to last pick in our draft, so we all kind of
Yeah,
thought he was gonna.
yeah,
We got and we picked you. You got Christian last. Honestly, swap him or Travis. One of the two was
true.
gonna be really bad.
I have Christian on my fantasy,
Yeah, you got him with the last pick.
and I got Hannah and
Yeah,
Ozza and Kylan.
I
He's
have
fucking killing this fantasy shit.
Xavier, uh, Claire, and Sarah Beth. I like
Not
my
bad.
outlook. I like my outlook.
I like Alex too.
The only idiot pick I made was Frenchie over Tiffany.
That's all right. You didn't know any better.
Oh, I feel like an idiot, really bad.
That's okay. It's okay.
Like really bad. Like I'm embarrassed. But yeah, it's we get to the vote. Brent is kind of like,
Hair's been bothering me.
I swear, I wish I would have seen like something. I wanted to see a storm off or something. He left
No.
better than I thought he did. His little questions with Julie, though, he was still like oblivious to why he got.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand that the reason why he is voted out not because he was a threat, because no one liked him, and Hannah flat out said that to him,
Yeah.
and he still was like, "Yeah, I was a threat. That's why I got voted out."
Just let this guy go. I bet he never watched another episode of BB for as long as he
Oh,
lived. I just don't think he's
not
not.
watching it.
No, he's just not into
He
it.
should have been on Love Island. Let's face
Yes,
it.
he should have been on Love Island. 100%.
That's why he
He
should
should
have
have
been.
been on. Yes, he should have been on Love Island.
We get to the HOH competition, and what do you think of the?
I
You
didn't
like
like it. No.
Why
Did
didn't
you
you
like
like it?
it?
I thought it was
I mean,
fine.
I liked the time part of it, but I didn't like how the last person completed the puzzle was HOH.
Why not?
Because how is that fair to the rest of the people in his team?
But it's a game within the game. That's why you try to do it fast and finish it on your turn.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So you're not just competing you're not competing against everybody else. You're competing with your teammates as well because you're trying to finish
That's
it.
true. I guess that's true.
Because you have 25 seconds to do it.
Wait, then the person who's about to like let the other person win, couldn't they stall and like?
Yeah, I mean, you could act like you couldn't get it on and then go hit the button.
Yeah, I think that was what was happening sometimes.
So yeah, because I know Derek X didn't want to win it.
No,
The queens
he's already
flat
won too
out.
many.
The queens flat out pretty much throw this. They didn't try to win
Yeah,
this. They
I'm
didn't even get
trying to.
half their puzzle done.
I keep on trying to pay attention and make sure that they haven't crowned a winner yet in animation.
Oh yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they
Uh,
have either.
but yeah, so basically they had 25 seconds to start this puzzle, and yeah, they hit the button before the end of 25 seconds, and as soon as you do, your next teammate goes. The last person to
Yeah,
finish the puzzle wins the HOH. It was pretty close with the aces and the kings, and Christian ends up winning HOH, which a lot of people did not want to happen.
no, they
And
didn't want the Kings to win at all.
mm-mm.
No,
I think Whitney and as of right now, I think Whitney and Hannah will go up. Uh, but the wild card competition still has to come up, and I know Whitney needs to go. She's the last one to go on her team.
yes,
So if she wins, I'm interested to see what would happen. I really hope she wins the wild card competition so we can see what happened. Because if nothing happens, I'm pretty sure those two will go up unless something changes.
no, I don't think anything will change. I think that nominations seem to be whenever they decided they agree that's going to be the noms. The question is, I think that this season is relies heavily on the veto. They rely heavily on the veto. Noms are always just kind of like flaky and not always, yeah, we want these people to go. But if they're more worried about what happens if they get taken off.
Mm. Yeah, so it was a fun week. I think this season has been fun, even though we've had 2 easy weeks back to back. We've had a lot of game talk within the background, and people subtle moves trying to put themselves in better positions and trying to keep their alliances together, trying to keep their parachute lines together, trying to figure
Yep.
out what they want to do. It's in a lot of things that the show quite hasn't covered all, and we got to see a lot through the feeds, but we do get to see throughout the episode. They are trying to keep up, but a lot's happening, so it's hard to keep
A
up.
lot is happening. And when do you find the feeds is like the best to watch during the day?
Um, Probably towards night, like they're up late.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
are.
problem. They are up so late. Like sometimes they're still up when I get ready for work in the morning.
Oh my god, dude. This is when BB After Dark would have been clutch.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Uh, Not much like craziness going on like some other season, but like game
No,
talk for
it's still
sure.
really good. Listen, they put so much game talk in the episodes too. I love them for it because
Hmm.
like they'll do a good, they'll do a good 30 minutes of game talk and then, with a couple of funny jokes here and there and thrown in there. And then they do a really fast 5 minute comp, then they'll hurry up and do another 20 minutes of game and then hurry up and do like vetoes or HOH or whatever in the last 5 minutes. And I love that they do that. They don't fill the time with comps sometimes like Survivor can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Big Brother has done in the past too.
They have. They
But
have.
I like the characters so far this season. I feel like the cookout is on the the line of either making a deep run or exploding any moment. So I'm
Yeah.
very anxious to see what's going to happen. This has been a blast so far.
It has
Um,
been. We adore this season so
yes.
far.
Uh,
Me and Frank talk about it throughout the week. I mean,
mhm,
not even just here, but we're consistently talking about feeds. He's consistently sending me stuff.
yeah.
It's been a good season to talk about amongst ourselves as well, and we enjoy that.
Yeah, and so we're very excited. Tell us what you guys think. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. We are
Yes,
for sure recording Big Brother 2 this week, the
yes,
second to last episode, and
yes.
then we'll finish it up. I know we've been pushing back, but 23 has been taking up a lot of time.
It has
Uh,
been.
but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like this video, please give us a like, subscribe, join our Facebook group page, follow us on Twitter. Um, all the links in the bio in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Thanks. Bye.